Hi, this is Lydia. I am the president of the Sunland-Tonga Neighborhood Council. We're starting this executive committee meeting at 7:08. The date is August 24th, 2022. And I'm moving right into calling the meeting to order. And who will be taking roll tonight?
Can you hear me? This is Carol.
Yes, Carol. Okay, Carol.
Okay.
If you'd like to take the
Let
roll.
me go ahead and call. Yes. Okay, Lydia Grant,
Yes, here.
Lala Rowe,
Here.
Ed Babakanian.
Here.
Okay, and Carol Hutchinson, I'm here. You have quorum.
Thank you. I don't really have any comments except for that I appreciate that you all gave up your evening to join us for these meetings. Are there any board members who need to recuse themselves from any items on this agenda tonight? If so, raise your hand and let us know. Upcoming outreach opportunities. Cindy, did you want to go over that, or Carol?
Well, I'll start. I mean, the Pinewood back to school night is August 30th at from 5:30 to 7. And it would be nice to have some of our board members attending. I know a lot of us are out of town, but you know, we have an entire board of 18 people, so it would be nice to have some of them show up. So we're going to hand out water, cookies, and little, you know, outreach items and things. So that's the plan. So 5:30 to 7, August 30th.
Thank you. Any other, Cindy?
No, that's the main one coming up, and that I'm aware of at this moment in time. I think the other ones are following the next board meeting.
Okay. Item number 2, general public comment on non-agenda items, 1 minute per speaker unless otherwise announced by the presiding officer. I have no way to view how many people we have as attendees. Cindy, can you tell me how many there are?
Yeah, there's 4 hands raised in attendees. Carol may, including yours and Carol's. So that would make 2. There's Mary Cahill, forgive me if I pronounced that incorrectly, and Marjorie Maxon.
Okay, I want to make a suggestion, Cindy, and I said this at the last meeting. We have to have a format where we can see each other. I can see nobody. I can't see anybody in the attendees, so I can't call on them. So whatever system we're using or however this is set up, it needs to be changed because it's not okay. Well, because I have to be able to see people.
We have that on the agenda item later.
Great, thank you.
Then you can go ahead and lower my hand, Cindy, and probably Lydia's also. There's a way for you to do it.
Okay.
I lowered my hand, but that's the only control I have.
So, Ms. Mary Cahill, you want to go ahead?
Hi, thank you. My name is Marika, and I just wanted to let you know that Sunland Elementary School's back to school night is also August 30th, at the same time from 5 to about 7. So that would be another outreach opportunity.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Marjorie Maxon is next.
Marjorie, go ahead.
Sorry, Marjorie, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, I think the reason why they're having the open house at Pinewood is because of the mural that the STNC has, you know, graciously helped us finance. And I recommend everybody go look at it. It's beautiful. It's not done, but what Gerardo's done is fantastic. So, you know, if anybody, the board members want to go look at it, I think it will be well worth their time. Or anytime, you can just drive by there. It's on the Pinewood side of Pinewood Elementary. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other hands, Cindy?
No, that was the last one.
Okay, thank you. Approval of outstanding minutes.
So they were sent to everyone. Do you want me to screen share them?
If you'd like.
Okay.
And do I have a motion to approve them?
I move. This is Lala.
Thank you, Lala. Do I have a second?
Carol, I'll second.
Thank you, Carol. I did review them.
So I'll scroll through.
Just scroll through, yeah.
Let me know if I need to stop.
Okay. Well, go ahead and go through them.
Okay.
Okay. Do we have any comments from the community on our minutes? Or approving the minutes? If so, Cindy, can you see any hands?
No.
Okay. Any board, any committee members have any comments? You see any hands, Cindy?
No.
Okay. And then we'll go ahead and call for the vote.
Is Carol going to take the vote count? I'm sorry.
I think Carol is doing the vote counts. Carol,
I
you
can,
still
but we
here?
have,
She's breaking up. No.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and
Okay.
take the vote counts. Lydia,
Thank you. Yes.
Lala,
Yes.
Ed,
Yes.
and Carol.
and Carol, can you hear me?
Yes. Okay. So
Okay.
4 votes in favor. So the motion carries.
Thank you.
Let me come back to the agenda. Okay. So can you see that? Okay.
Yes, I can. Thank you. Status of bylaws updates. We will need to, the bylaws have been uploaded, the new set of bylaws.
Actually, this was about the effective date clarification. We still don't have that done.
Okay.
So we're waiting for Roll to get back to us with the effective date of our bylaws.
Okay, well, from what I was told the day that I was in the meeting is that the information goes into effect. They had a choice. They could either make it right away or they could make it after the next election. But because it affects our board seats in the election, which is before, after the board is seated, then they were going to go ahead and make them active, from what I remember, because they can't put it into effect after the vote because we've changed the positions so much. So if Raul has not given us clarification, but that's what I remember from the meeting, is that even the commissioners were confused.
Okay, so we're still waiting for that. So
Yeah.
that's a placeholder so that we can stay on top of it.
Sure. Status of Zoom accounts. Dunn is going to provide us one account. We have already okayed from the board to get a second account.
So can I update you on that? Let me know.
Go ahead.
Okay, so we're getting a provided account until April of next year, and then we'll be billed at that time. If we want an additional account, it's $200. And I was just in the budget and finance meeting, and there doesn't seem to be something approved specifically in this fiscal year for that $200. So we'll need to ask Ed to put it on his next agenda so that we can make that happen if we want to proceed with that.
Okay, thank you. Okay. I thought we voted on it this year, but maybe I was wrong.
I thought we did too, but I couldn't
think
find it.
we voted on, well, I'll go and check. I think we voted on having one. I don't think we had a cost associated with it. That was my concern.
Yeah, because we voted for up to 400 and something dollars because we heard it was 200 a piece. But we can double check it. We can vote on it again too.
Okay,
It's not a problem.
if it's approved, then we're good. I'll just make
Yeah.
sure.
If it's approved, let us know so we can cancel the other Zoom contract that we have.
Yep. Oh, okay, yeah, if it's approved, we'll cancel it right away,
Yeah,
get a refund.
okay. In-person meeting updates done. Survey deadline was July 22nd. We still do not know when we'll be meeting in person, if we'll be going back to in-person meetings. The only thing that we do know is they have stated that if we do go back to in-person meetings, that everyone who attends the meetings must be vaccinated. There's no option to show a negative test. Everybody in the community would have to be vaccinated or they would not be allowed to attend the meetings. That is coming from the city.
And I did sit in on the last bonk meeting where they talked about the results of the survey they took. There were 44 respondents to the survey for Region 1, which I thought was very low. And their feedback is mixed as far as people wanting to get back to live meetings. So that was another takeaway I got from that feedback.
Thank you. I'd like to go ahead and ask the community members if anybody would like to weigh in on that. If we, I can't see hands, Cindy, but if you'd like to speak to that item about having to be vaccinated for in-person meetings, we'd like to hear your input. Please raise your hand and go ahead and speak to that item.
And you have one raised hand. I'm so sorry, Mary Kay.
Marika.
Marika.
Thank you. I don't have an issue with the requirement, but is there a possibility of having hybrid meetings where they're partially in person and partially online? Because not only would that be supportive of community members and council members who might not be vaccinated, but it would also make the meetings more accessible for other community members for other reasons as well. That's my thought that comes to mind, is that perhaps a hybrid model would work.
Thank you. Cindy, are there any other hands?
One more, Amber Morrison.
Amber, go ahead, please.
Hi, thank you. I would just like to echo Marika's suggestion of hybrid meetings. Having the ability to join meetings online is a significant help for people like me who would otherwise have to arrange childcare and who would have other barriers. Maybe they can join from work, or if they're not able to leave their families at dinner time, they can still participate and be a bigger part of their community. So if there's any way to keep online access, I'm all for that.
Thank you. All right, Cindy, are there any other hands?
No, there's no other hands.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead. I'm not responding to the comments, but I'm going to give information that the department and the neighborhood councils are working together. There is what we call an EVG group that is looking into hybrid meetings, but it is not likely that the ability to do hybrid meetings will be, the ability will happen before we go back to in-person meetings. That might come along later, and there's some pilot program being discussed for some of the neighbor councils to do it. But there's some legal issues in regards to having the meetings hybrid, and that is, it has to do with Brown Act posting of meetings. Currently, the way the Brown Act reads is that if I'm going to be at my home participating in a meeting, then my home has to be open to the public to join me at that location. So before any of these issues going to hybrid could be addressed, they would have to wait for some legislation to be changed. So it's not likely to happen real soon, and we do not know when they're going to have us go back to meetings. But we do appreciate people's input on this. The board has discussed this before. The board is very strong in saying that we'd like to be able to continue on Zoom because it does allow for more participation. The other issue is that comes up is how many board members have to be at the physical location where the Zoom meeting is being done versus where else they might be. And again, that comes to the Brown Act issues. So there's a lot of details that would have to be worked out. We do appreciate the input on it. There is, like I said, a team of people looking into it, but thank you. Cindy, next item is the status of storage and office space and recommendations. We are at a point right now where we are still waiting and not moving any of our stuff. I know the storage fees have gone up, but we are still in a situation where the building, North Valley City Hall, which is where all the tables and chairs go, if we move them there and we decide not to go back to having our in-person meetings there, then we would need to pull them all out. And we have already been told that we will not have access to the building. So using the building for the storage of the community's tables and chairs has not worked out well. We haven't been able to figure that out. The council office has said they would allow us to move them there, but then we hold events and we aren't sure that we want to do that at this time. So it's still kind of on hold. We're still looking for other opportunities. That's the update on that. Cindy, if you want to go ahead, let's ask the public if they want to comment on that item.
Does anybody want to make a comment with regards to the status of the neighborhood council storage and office space? I don't see any hands.
Okay, thank you. Status of light pole banners. Cindy, you can speak to that one.
Yes. So the board's approved the funding in the new fiscal year. They did it in the prior fiscal year, but it's been approved in the new. So I don't know if it's been processed yet as far as payment, but the permitting approval from Council District 7 has been requested of and submitted. So we await that. That could take another couple weeks maybe. And the vendor is ready to repair the existing banners that we have and also put up the additional 10. So we're just awaiting Council District 7's permitting process. That's it.
Thank you. Digital media policy items. There will be a webinar from the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment on August 31st of 2022. That is for all board members, but I believe the public is allowed to participate. After the webinar, they will be posting the link, and basically what they'll be doing is they have put in a whole bunch of new policy on what neighbor councils can and do with their social media, what can be posted on Facebook, in regards to like sharing an event that somebody else is holding. There are a ton of restrictions coming down, so we will have to go find out what all those rules are, and it will take a while for it to filter through because like I said, there's so many new rules and we really don't have too much knowledge of what those rules will be. Cindy, did you want to comment on that at all?
It goes into effect October the 4th. And the biggest takeaways that I noticed for this is we have different committees that have Facebook pages, group pages. Those group pages will now need a board member attached to them so that they can be carried on when, when boards turn over. And there'll be, I think people should pay close attention to liking in posts. That will be another item that will come up that is important. So versus your private personal posting and posting on the neighborhood council's pages and things like that. So So I recommend everybody go to this. It's very complex, as Lydia explained, and it's probably going to take 2 or 3 go rounds to get a handle on it. So thanks.
And one last thing I'd like to add is the department is starting it in October, but they actually are going to review it after a period of time to see if the policy's working, if it's unreasonable, unwieldy, or if there's changes that need to be made to the policy. H is committee meeting dates, times. Cindy, do you want to speak to those?
Yeah, this has to do with, we have several committees in the STNC, and we have 2 committees in particular that meet on the 4th Tuesday back to back. And then of course, this meeting is held back to back with the budget committee. So they have separate Zoom IDs. So it's important that we make sure that that's up to date and a template format for the individual committees and of course, you know, the board. Dawn has provided a template and there's a link to it here and for anybody with regards to wording, how items are worded on the agenda and so forth. So that is a broad template, and we utilize most all of the template as it's presented there, but not all of our committees use the template. So hopefully maybe we can steer them to do so, and then that way there won't be any conflicts. Minutes for every committee are also posted up on the website when they're approved by the committee. So it takes another month sometimes before those get up. And then the recordings are on the YouTube channel. Moved them over there. You can get to that link on the front page of the STNC website for that. So those try to get posted up within a few days. And this makes it easier for anyone wanting to listen back on a meeting that's held. Let's see.
I want to add, the neighborhood council has a policy that they're supposed to be posted, I believe, within 5 days. So they're not always up the next day. We get a lot of calls and emails from people wanting to see them the next day. They're not always up.
Yeah.
They give us 5 days. They're usually up earlier, but this is a volunteer position and people all have full-time jobs.
Right. So we have standing committees, and then we have an ad hoc bylaws standing rules committee. I don't have any updates on that committee holding meetings yet, but they should be coming back around. And then the elections committee is now under the outreach committee until such time as an elections team comes together. Our neighborhood council election will be held next June in 2023. So if anyone's interested in anything to do with the neighborhood council elections, it'd be good to attend an outreach meeting. Okay, I think I've talked enough.
Okay, so discussion number 4 is discussion motion finalize community impact statements for September 22 board meeting. Do we have any that need to be addressed?
Well, you know, when we go through the draft agenda, we can pick them up there because okay. I put a placeholder for them there.
Okay. Discussion motion filling vacant board and committee seats. That's also on the agenda.
Yes, we have 3 vacancies.
Did we receive the letter yet from LAPD for the neighborhood watch submitter?
I do not have it yet. It may have been submitted to one of the other executive committee members. If you have it, if you can send it to me, that would be great. I can help put it all together. But there's the stakeholder group seat vacancies. It's on the front page of the website, and also the vice president outreach.
Okay. Discussion of possible action to approve the September 14th board meeting agenda. Do I have a motion?
Oh, this is Carol. I'll make the motion.
Carol made the motion. Do I have a second?
I second Lala.
Thank you. Cindy, can we review it?
Yes, I'm going to put it up here in just a second. So it's all right with you. I'll go through it and go over it, and then we can change things as we go or afterwards. Up on the left, I've updated the board member positions and vacancies. So we have a new board member, Michael Goglia, and I understand that is, by the way, his cornerstone is going to be moving along as of today. Okay, so the items that are lined out are from the prior meeting, so I didn't know if you wanted to leave any of them that are unfinished. So that's volunteer recognition cert training will be announced, the update on the Pinewood Elementary outreach announcement, board member attendance. I don't know if you want to leave that on. Feedback from Dunn regarding March 10th letter. Feedback from Council Member Rodriguez regarding North Valley City Hall and storage. In-person and hybrid meetings update. STNC YouTube meeting link is there. We can move it somewhere else. It doesn't have to necessarily be here. And then the shirts and business cards for the board members. Roll call voting eligibility is the same as in prior times. Completion of required training status. All of our board members have completed their training, by the way. Announce any board member recusals or paid lobbyists. Announcement of vacant board seats. And the link is there for the details. The pledge, the comments from elected officials. We have 2 land use items that need approval by the board, and they are there for Foothill Boulevard and for Samoa. We have the committee and liaison reports. These are the same as prior times. And then there's a note here from outreach regarding they have vacancies on the outreach committee. And then there's going to be a coffee with the STNC September 17th. And beautification Pinewood mural update. The liaison reports for the budget advocates, Nank and Lank, ad hoc bylaws, standing rules, and future meeting dates, and other. Discussion to fill vacant board seats. This is, I believe, the item you were asking, Sherry McCoy, State Group Representative, Neighborhood Watch. These are the funding consent items, and Ed, I picked these up from your agenda, so if there need to be, adjusted, changed, you can let me know.
I just sent you, there's only 3. I just sent them to you via email.
Okay, so then I will be removing, oh yeah, some of this stuff is from the last meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I have the item on the neighborhood purposes grant item in consent, but that I don't, you can tell me whether you want to leave it there.
I would pull that guy out. I would also pull out, I'm going to send it to you, but it's the one around a vendor analysis if we're not going with a California vendor. I'd pull those 2 out.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you. Consent calendar for non-funding, and Lala, this is where these items, so we need to know if everything is going to be in the approval letter for the CCE grant for Hillhaven, the CIS support for responsible beverage service, the CIS in support of regional homelessness response system. I know one of these got pulled, and I don't recall which one it is. And then the CIS in support of emergency medical services system, city or fire district control, and CIS in support of catalytic converter sales.
Right.
So yes. one of those has been pulled. Do you recall?
No, I think it was a different item that was on the first agenda and we pulled it off when we redid the meeting.
No, it was one of these items we postponed to a future meeting. It might be it's either the homelessness one or it's the
Oh, it was the emergency medical. There was a lot of, we got a lot of pros and cons on what we needed to look into a little bit of what does it mean exactly. So that was the one.
So that would be D. D needs to be pulled.
D needs to come out. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I mean, it sounded good, but then there was a bunch of people that were saying it wasn't good, and like, we have to find out what is it.
Okay. All right. Old business, I have none. New business, MER generation. Oh, okay. I pulled these. I don't know if you want to include them, Lydia. So and the committee. So you need to let me know. But this is feedback that I hear or that is submitted. So that's what these are. Discussion, possible action, review, MER generation issues, and provide an update. Ed probably has that update. Request all committees submitting expense requests to provide a vendor analysis. That's where that is. I think, Ed, you told me to pull that.
Put it as something to be discussed, not within the not on
consent
calendar. Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
it's separate now.
Yeah.
Okay. Discussion possible motion to appoint up to four board members to attend Civic U presented by the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment. And the dates for that are October 6th, 13th, and 27th. Appointed board members must attend all three sessions. And then this is where the neighborhood purpose grant is. And we can add the budget committee's recommendation there as well. And then discussion passable action of current budget rollover funds. I don't know if there's any news on that. You can tell me, I can pull that. And then this is a standing item of
Cindy, can you stop, because otherwise I'm going to get confused. Can you roll back up a little bit? So I just want to ask, no, it's fine. I just want to ask Ed, is there a problem with the MER generation?
So there's two issues. One is that, remember that $14.99 Amazon charge? That's
yes.
Their fault. So they received their check. They just haven't posted it to our account yet. So that's holding it. And then there's also an issue with our constant contact invoice, which Cindy just sent me an update. So I've updated that. So once those two things get adjusted, hopefully in the next day or two, we'll have the MER, but it won't be in time for this meeting. We have the June one. So that one got issued. We're just waiting on July and then August.
Okay. The reason I was wondering if it's like a technical problem, because there has been a technical problem with ENS and posting our meeting agendas for the public. So I just wanted to make sure it wasn't a technical issue. Okay.
It's a bureaucratic problem.
Okay.
Ed, it sounds to me like you could have the MER for July.
Potentially tomorrow, if they will release it. You have the June one.
And the August one. You can always pull it, but we could put all three on there.
Yeah, let's put all three on there. And if we don't have it, we'll pull them.
Okay. All right. So back, Lydia, did you want to, okay, I pretty much got through the whole thing. Now, where do you want to go? You want to, Ed said he sent me the items for budget, so I will switch those out because these are incorrect. And
yeah, and we're going to move item H to new business.
Right, that comes out as well.
Right, and then it was Claire that was working on the grant for Hillhaven, right?
Yes.
Okay, do we have that paperwork?
I do not. I don't have. I think there is a draft letter. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I just remember you saying
there is a draft letter. There is a draft letter. It just needs the header and the signature put on it.
Okay.
Okay, we'll do that after it's approved.
Okay.
But the individual CISs, I don't know, Lala, it's been a few days since that meeting. If we had detail for each of these that we're putting through.
No, but I will have them.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. So So do you want to go back to the top and carry down and tell me what comes out from the top, Lydia, under your part?
I'm sorry, say that again. You can remove those, yeah.
Okay, all right. And anybody else with anything else?
You know what, actually, no, can you go back up? I would like to leave G, because I think the public needs to know that if they're gonna wanna come to our meetings, they're gonna have to be vaccinated. So I'd like to keep reminding people each month of that.
Okay. Hopefully that will, maybe it will change. Okay. And what else? Anything else? I do have the letters for the land use committee. Those have already been turned in. And committee and liaison reports. Vacancy. I just need that one letter and finish that. And then the budget items I have from Ed. The CISs we're pulling.
And you're going to take that one out, the
yes,
emergency response system.
Yes. And there was, and then these items here, Lydia, does the MER generation issues need to be discussed?
Yeah, leave it there so that, yeah, leave it there. I just wanted to double check it wasn't something that I could work on with the department or to get fixed.
Okay.
So if it's something that Ed's doing, that's no problem. I was thinking it might have been a technical issue.
Okay.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, and this was only on there. It's really up for budget and finance to make sure that everybody on our committee was up to date. But I'm fine sharing an update with the general population. It might be conflict if we do get the July and August MERs.
Okay. Current budget rollover funds. I don't know if we'll know by that meeting, but we might know what the rollover funds are.
So
they said 10K, but they haven't given it to us yet.
Yeah.
So I just want to say it, Ed, if you get the MERS within, within a few days, just send them to Cindy or let her know you have them and we can change this on the agenda.
Yeah. No, as soon as I get it,
yeah.
Cindy will have it.
Okay. So unless anybody has anything else, it's in your hands, Lydia.
Okay. I'd like to know if there's anybody from the public who has a comment. If so, please raise your hand.
Marjorie.
Marjorie, go ahead, please.
Hi. I thought they adjusted the amount that they wanted for that Indigenous Peoples Day. I thought they put it.
Yeah,
we'll
Marjorie,
update it.
How much?
Yeah, it's not been updated yet.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Okay.
Thank you, though, for bringing it to our attention in case it got missed. Any other comments?
I need more practice with her name. I'm so sorry.
Marika.
Marika.
I was at the SIGA meeting and I just wanted, I could be wrong in remembering this, but I thought that the homeless response system had been delayed because some people on the committee wanted to look into some of the assisting departments. So I could be wrong in remembering that, but I remembered that being a part of the discussion. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention.
That was which item? I'm sorry.
That would be item C, I believe.
Okay.
There, I have it.
Yes, yeah, item C.
So we're gonna have to check with Lala and see.
Oh, this is Carol. Is that the one about forming a bureau or something at City Hall that was supposed to prevent people from being evicted? I can't see it,
yes.
So I can't.
Yeah, that was the one.
That did get pulled. That did get pulled.
Okay. Then, according to your minutes, then, did we pull D or not?
I can't see. I don't have that capability. I can't.
Oh, D is the emergency medical service, giving local control.
I'm talking about the city forming a department to help people facing eviction. That one, not emergency medical services.
Okay.
That's off the top of my head. I'm not home and I don't have access to my computer right at the moment. So I know the one about the Bureau to help people facing eviction was pulled for further research.
I don't see one on here that says that.
Oh, okay. I thought that's what Marika was referring to.
She was referring to the Regional Homelessness Response System.
That's
Homelessness Prevention Programs and Expansion.
That's it. They're going to look at new ways to prevent homelessness.
Okay.
Okay. If that's the one that's pulled, this is why I have the question here, because I remember the one that we had the most conflict on was actually D, which is the emergency medical service system, giving local control to agencies, to fire agencies.
I'd like to make if you don't mind, I'd like to make a motion to send C&D back to committee for further discussion.
Okay, I think that's a good idea. I'll second that.
Okay. Cindy, can we have a vote on, or let's take public comment on that, because I think that there needs to be more discussion, and we need to have the council file up so the public can see it, so we can have a better discussion, because if there's already questions, we shouldn't be approving it in just the meeting. So okay. Cindy, can you see any hands? Is there any public members of the public that would like to make a comment on removing these two items?
I see no raised hand.
Okay, thank you.
So,
board members?
No. So Carol, are you available to take the vote?
Yeah, sure. Okay, Lydia Grant?
Yes.
Lala Rowe?
Yes.
Ed Babakanian?
Yes.
And Carol Hutchinson is yes. Okay, send them back.
Thank you. So Cindy, we're sending back C&D to committee.
Thank you. Okay. So are you ready to approve the agenda with these corrections?
Sure. So that's why I was asking if there's anybody in the community that has, or in our attendees that has anything they want to say about this agenda before we go ahead and approve it.
I see no raised hands.
Okay. Committee members, if you have any comments, go ahead. Otherwise, we'll call for the vote. Okay, go ahead and call for the vote.
All right, Lydia Grant?
Yes.
Lala Rowe?
Yes.
Ed Babakanian?
Yes.
Carol Hutchinson is yes. There you go.
Wonderful. Thank you, guys. And now we need to, when we put the agenda back up, make sure we got everything on the agenda except for adjournment. Okay, final announcements and board comments. Are there any announcements from the committee members? No hands. Okay, and number 8 is item to adjourn, and it is 7:52. Are there any objections to adjourning the meeting from the committee members? If so, raise your hand. And Cindy, if you don't see any hands raised, then we'll adjourn the meeting at 7:52 p.m. And you guys, thank you so much.
Good night, guys.
Thank you so much for attending. We appreciate it.